And hello everybody, welcome back to LFC News. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a big update from David Ornstein over one of our signings. Yes, an interesting update, however, of course, needed. Not necessarily good news within the Liverpool space, but regardless, we're here to shed some light on it. We've also got a bit of news with regard to Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain as well, which we'll go through. I know he doesn't play for Liverpool anymore, but whatever, we'll still go through it. But all eyes on Manchester City this weekend. Big game for the Reds, because we have not really been keeping any consistency within the Premier League, to be honest. A great win against Newcastle last time out, and I really liked the way that we played against Newcastle, a good side. But it's a different sort of test against Manchester City, who are, of course, have been a bit inconsistent this season, but still find themselves in a title race. It's a must-win for them, and for us, well, we need to keep this. We need to get some winning momentum within the Premier League. I'm more focusing my attention towards the Champions League as a supporter. However, finishing those top four is absolutely imperative for this football club going forward for finances, but also attracting players next year and just for the spectacle. No one wants to be in the Europa League. I'm kind of done with that year. We're knocked out by Atalanta. Liverpool don't belong in the Europa League. Champions League is the only thing that I want to see us in. Guys, let's get into today's update. But first, please do hit the like button and hit the subscribe button for more. So first things first, guys, Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain is moving to Celtic. There's a here we go there from Fabrizio Romano. An agreement is in place for the midfielder. He's in Glasgow now for a new chapter on a 6-month deal plus an option to extend. Of course, it's not really worked out for Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain since leaving Liverpool, really. At Besiktas, yes, he won the Turkish Cup. However, he has, injuries have really plagued his time. In fact, injuries have plagued his whole career, let's be perfectly honest. But he'll be looking for some luck at Celtic. I, for obvious reasons, will not be wishing him luck. But, of course, a transfer there. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, former Red, heading off to Celtic. Now this is the update with regard to David Ornstein, ladies and gentlemen. That's that Liverpool must now pay an initial fee worth £2.8 million, which could rise by a further £4 million for the signing of Rio Ngumoha from Chelsea. Now, what's been said is it was ruled that Liverpool owe the Premier League rivals up to 6.8 million quid once performance-related contingencies have been included, plus 20% of the profit if he is sold. That comes from David Ornstein this morning. And I seen that approach by, of course, going to other clubs and taking their academy prospects. However, a sort of ruling has now making us pay upwards of £7 million for this transfer. So pretty interesting indeed. Don't really make too much sense of it, maybe just due to him being a sort of academy product at Chelsea, but I don't understand why these tribunals come into place and we owe mass amounts of money out for a player that we acquired at academy level. We went the legal route and got him. I don't understand why we owe Chelsea so much money. But that's an update there from David Ornstein with regard to Rio Ngumoha.
In other news, Virgil van Dijk has been a leader ever since he joined Liverpool from Southampton almost a decade ago, and his latest interview only reinforces that reputation. Speaking to Gary Neville, Van Dijk reflected on the influence former players have on the next generation, stressing that they should use their platforms responsibly and for positive purposes. The Liverpool captain appeared to call out certain ex-stars of the game, suggesting that many failed to use their influence constructively. Instead, he argued some focus on creating viral clips by making outrageous or inflammatory comments about current players. Van Dijk was clear that criticism is part of the job for pundits and former professionals. However, he believes some go too far, becoming reckless with their words in pursuit of attention and social media engagement. It was a revealing and thoughtful interview from the Reds captain, and one that offers important context for fans as well. Let's have a watch.
Does the noise bug you? Because Liverpool, it's constant. It's constant.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think that's always going to be. That's from day one since I worked in the club. Yeah. So that's not the issue.
I said think, you weren't worth 75 million quid. To be fair, I mean.
But the thing is, that comes with it. Yeah. And I've mentioned it over the last. I had a good interview, in my opinion. with Paul Joyce from the Times, and we spoke about obviously the role that media has at this day and age.
Do you like it? Do you accept it?
So for me personally, I can deal with it, but I'm a bit worried for the next generation.
You don't think they will be able to deal with it?
Well, it's not as easy as everyone thinks.
No.
Like,
talk to us specifically about that. You're talking about the constant noise,
Yeah.
social media, podcasts,
Yeah.
punditry, everything.
I feel the like I can say whatever I want in this case, but I feel like
Please do.
yeah, I understand, but I feel like the ex top players have a responsibility to the new generation, in my opinion. So, you know, criticism is absolutely, you know, normal and part of the game, and I think it should stay there. But sometimes criticism go into also being clickbait, you know, saying things to, you know, to provoke things or to, and then without thinking about the repercussions for a mental side of players, and especially the younger generation who are obviously constantly on social media. And you can say, oh yeah, you shouldn't be on social media. That's what I've mentioned loads of times.
Do you say that to the young players?
Yeah, 100%. Like, especially, like there is always this thing of like, you know, when you play a good game, you wanna younger players checking, you know, all the positive praises and stuff. And when you have a lesser good game and you're getting bullied all over social media or you're getting a bad criticism, it can really affect you. And I see that with certain players in the past and obviously currently as well, because it's just not easy. We can all say like, listen, yeah, you should just deal with it. But I think it's gonna get worse and worse because the platforms nowadays, the how it goes, the clickbait, the headlines, everyone is just on it constantly. And I feel like, and I started with it, I feel like especially the ex-pros, top players been through everything as well, on the absolute highest level, I think they have this responsibility of protecting a little bit of that side as well, even if they're part of a bigger company or bigger audience. But like I said, criticism, you know, it's part of the game, and that should stay there. That's absolutely normal, especially also from ex-pros that've been there, that have been in that particular situation, have dealt with it or deal with it, maybe in a different way, but a better outcome. Or, you know, I think that's something maybe to look at.
But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.